Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Join with me are my co-host, Ian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And Joseph.
Yellow.
As we mentioned earlier, Jay Hugh is out this week.
Caca!
Yeah, there we go. I had to get it in.
Cacawing in heaven.
May he rest in peace. This week, kind of in honor of Veterans Day, which was on Monday, we are discussing war movies, which is a wide-ranging genre.
There's so many.
Way more than I thought once I started really reading on it. So we're trying to rein it in a tad.
We'll try our best.
And talk mostly about U.S. war movies, but it could get, as always, on tangents, so bear with
it's
it.
a genre that's been around forever.
Yep.
When I say
Literally since the dawn of film.
Since the dawn of film. Really picked up after World War II.
Yeah.
We got a shit ton
War
of
movies are fun. Off the top, we want to talk about a couple that we haven't seen.
That we know we should.
Yeah, things that you expect to be on these lists that we're not going to talk about because we have we usually don't have much authority to talk about. We literally have no authority.
And these are classic movies that people love. So Platoon, none of us have seen it.
Hashtag Real Phonies.
Yep. Deer Hunter, The Thin Red Line.
Yep.
Casablanca.
Bridge over the River Kwai.
Yep.
Yep.
Midway. And all those other old ones too. The new Midway and the old Midway. So those right there, I'm sure they're great. I'm actually making note to get to them, but we're not going to talk about them now. So
Yep.
I got to mention the other ones that hurt to mention since he's not here.
Go.
Dirty Dozen.
Yep. He loves it.
Guns of the Navarone.
He loves it.
And From Here to Eternity.
I think he loves it.
He loves all of them. Hurt, you're with us in spirit. So how do you want to structure?
Look, I don't even want to save it for closing because it's Veterans Day and it's the movie that plays on every channel all day. Saving Private Ryan is kind of the benchmark.
Yep.
Certainly, I think a lot of people would argue probably the best war movie of all time. I would disagree with that statement.
Oh, I want to know.
But
a little tease there.
It's to me the most patriotic movie of all time.
It's very patriotic.
It's incredible. I mean, I love everything about that movie. I love all the different missions they do throughout the day, like storming the pillbox, and then that end scene where Tom Hanks whips out his pistol. I mean, that movie just has so many iconic moments. Even past that, the storming of Normandy on the beach,
That's the best shot.
And I like so much more other than that. You know what I mean? Like Vin Diesel with the sniper off. You know what I mean? With Vin Diesel hurt in the center, and it's just a great movie, top to bottom.
That dude who was in Lost, who doesn't know what FUBAR means.
Yep, Jeffrey Wright Davis.
Is that his...
Jeffrey Davies or Jeremy Davies?
Jeremy Davies.
Yeah,
he was at Pentagon last year.
He was the physicist who.
He's
he got Desmond
constant.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. I love this movie. It's just tad long, but that storming a Normandy beach scene is... It may be the best 20 minutes of a war movie ever.
See, I like the end where they storm the town and they have all these guerrilla defenses and it just gets crazy, you know. And they were taking socks and sticky bombs. I love Call of Duty too. It was I played a lot of that game in college, and this is 100% the movie version of Call of Duty too. It just has so many iconic moments, action moments.
And maybe Call of Duty 2 is the video game version of Saving Private Ryan.
100%, yeah.
And it's a fun cast of eclectic characters that you grow to love over the course of things. The sniper guy is super fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
yeah. When they have the Nazi in the hole and he's trying to sing the national anthem, it's great.
Who's the guy?
Also, this movie has everyone in it.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is in it. Vin Diesel. Who's his right hand man? Tom Hanks is. He's the
guy who's in every war movie.
Yeah,
ever.
I forget his name. He had a lot of personal problems. I can't think of it, but yeah. Who else?
What's his face? Bryan Cranston's in this movie at the very beginning. He's one of the guys that's
I think he has one arm.
Matt Damon, of course, as Private Ryan.
Correct.
Does great.
Fucking Nathan Fillion as the other Private Ryan.
true.
Vin Diesel as we mentioned.
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, he's cool. He's isn't he? He's just another army lieutenant.
Yeah, it's the guy they intersected the town with the sniper, I believe.
Tom Sizemore.
Can't go too terribly long on Private
Ed Burns.
lots, but
I mean, we have to spend a little bit of
Adam
time on it.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
I mean, Barry Pepper is the sniper.
Giovanni Ribisi. Ted Danson's in this movie?
Danson. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean,
it's wild the amount of people that are in
the
this
entire
movie.
list of IMDb people is actually in this movie. Saving
one
Private
form or
Ryan is a
another.
credit on every
the whole
IMDb page.
internet movie database is in this movie.
It's better than Transformers.
It is way better than Transformers.
I mean, I would say top 10 for sure for me.
And if it doesn't bring a tear to your eye and a little America to your heart after watching it, I don't know if you're human.
It's better than Black Panther for people who listen to this podcast.
Whoa, that's a big endorsement.
I mean, I was just going on some of those. I wrote down a bunch of movies. Full Metal Jacket.
Great movie. I would say, oh man,
that's Vietnam. Yeah, we could have broken this up by wars. It doesn't really matter.
Any structure.
So this is a Kubrick film.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
This movie is kind of the life of a Marine in the Vietnam War.
It's a strange movie. It's like two movies.
Yes. So one thing that I would say that's phenomenal about this film, war movies are tough for me. It's not a genre that I deeply love, and it's not even a genre that I really enjoy watching them up. But I am a former military member, so I have a lot of connection with a lot of these things. Mm-hmm. And if you have any interest in knowing what boot camp is like, that's your best interpretation.
What's the guy's name who's yelling all the time? He just passed away.
Arlie Ermy?
Arlie Ermy, yeah. He's incredible. And a lot of that stuff he says to those people is just shit he made
up.
Absolutely. Shit he would say to actual Marines. And that's phenomenal.
I forgot it was...
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio's Private Pile.
Yeah. But the movie is really divided into two parts, like you talked about. There's the boot camp part, and then there's the part actually in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. I like the first part more than the second.
Everybody likes the first part more than the second part.
Yeah, I could see why if you had not gone through it. To me, it just gives me bad flashbacks. And but, I mean, God, there's always a dude who you're afraid is going to kill himself. That's a very, real thing, and I don't know. That is boot camp in a nutshell. My favorite line in this movie, though, is the duality of man, sir. What? The duality of man, sir. That's great. I don't know. I love this film. I have it in 4K. I watch it a lot.
I haven't seen this in a while, but yeah, it's one of those movies that's classic. If you haven't seen it, it's not like anything else, really.
And I think that's one of the things that's confusing about it is especially the second half. It's definitely there are definitely a lot of movies on this list that are kind of romanticizing the conflict, romanticizing the battle, and all that kind of stuff. And this one does not do that. And the whole second half in Vietnam feels very aimless, and I think it's intentional. But it's also
that's what the war was. I mean, a lot of people looked at it.
But it's also to me, it's hard to get invested. It's what the fuck are we even doing? What's the story here? I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it is unlike anything else I think on this list.
Yeah, you talk about the glorification of war somewhat. It's such a fine line because I think with these stories, most of and this is where Full Metal Jacket can do what you're talking about, where other ones cannot. Is when you're talking about real people in real events, do you want to make those individuals seem like assholes? You know what I mean? Do you want to try to tell it in a positive light? Because maybe a decisive military victory is necessary is the thing that ended up leading towards a peaceful resolution. And so, but that military victory was awful. What occurred during those moments is terrible, but it was a necessary thing or whatever to lead to it. So I feel like there's this. A lot of people on the outside look at it as a glorification or propaganda even, but I think you have to realize in those moments that you're talking about real human beings and real events, and you want to tell the story as positively and kind to those people as you can. Whereas in this film, since it's fictionalized people but within a real setting, you do have the opportunity to be more direct to the point or the purpose of Vietnam. Mm-hmm. And this is what Jarhead wants to do with the invasion of Iraq.
And does not.
And it does not do it well. Adam Baldwin is great in this movie, and Matthew Modine is great in this movie. Mm-hmm. Big fan of both.
Well, actually, that's a good transition into one that I'm not sure. I would be interested to hear if you feel like accomplishes a goal. I feel like does a similar thing of glorifying the soldier and not glorifying the institution. American Sniper.
Yeah, I mean, American Sniper is tough because I think American Sniper is a well-made film. And look, Chris Kyle is a decorated and well-accomplished Navy SEAL. He does not need me fighting his battles for him. And he died trying to help people who suffered. Chris Kyle said and did some terrible things. but he also realized he had a mental issue, went and got help, and then wanted to help people with the same mental issue, and a person ended up killing him. That's terribly sad.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away that the movie probably makes him out to be a little more positive than he probably deserved. I'm still saying better than Transformers. And I still think Chris Kyle's an American hero, but he was a broken guy, and I don't know that the movie does a good enough job of showing how broken he actually was.
Yeah, I like that movie, but I would agree with that. Like, because I don't know the backstory, I guess, like, about him really, but they showed him having some like drinking problems and a little marital strife, but I didn't see like a broken guy from that movie. You know what I mean? But I thought the action scenes were cool with that, and the story was cool because I had never heard of that before. Before the movie came out. So I like that movie. Definitely better than Transformers.
I do not like this movie. I think it's overproduced, poorly edited, and the performances aren't great.
Now that's a review.
But yeah, and I mean, I appreciate, especially for a Clint Eastwood movie, there is like almost a take here, and I appreciate that. But since we started out a little heavy, we're going to go to movies that do have absolutely no subtlety. How about Lone Survivor? With Mark Wahlberg.
Lone Survivor is... Have you guys read the book?
No.
I have read the book as well.
So this one's got Marky Mark.
The guy who failed
Kitsch.
John Carter.
Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah, Taylor Kitsch.
And Ben Foster.
Yeah, and one other
Ben
guy.
Foster can get up
from,
into a military
The kid
role.
from Speed Racer.
Yes. Oh, Emil Hirsch.
And he got jacked for this movie,
Yeah, they
too.
all did.
Yeah.
And they're all playing Navy SEALs. Again, true story. Some guys getting stranded out inside of a village, and they thought there were 20... Taliban guys, and it turns out there were like 200 Taliban guys, and only one of them, Marcus, what is that guy's name? Marcus something, makes it out. He was found by a young Afghani boy him and his dad save him, hide him for a couple of days until he can be rescued by U.S. forces. This movie it does not try anything, I don't think.
No.
This tries to be like Saving Private Ryan, but with none of the drama and none of the high caliber acting. It's a true story that actually happened. It looks cool, but there's no substance.
This is. I mean, honestly, this is a movie I like Taylor Kitsch in the most.
Yeah, I remember liking this movie. It was a long time ago I saw it.
I think this movie is better than Transformers.
Yeah.
Again. The message of this movie is "fuck yeah, America."
Yeah, I like those movies,
but it's I think it's pretty fun overall.
One thing that's interesting about this movie is it is a war movie that takes place during wartime, but it is mostly a survival movie
for sure.
Yeah,
it's just trying to make it out alive because the odds are definitely stacked against them. I don't get the "fuck yeah, America" impression from this film because it isn't really an asserting of dominance. It's the opposite. It's him just trying to make it, and I don't know. There's just not much to it.
There's not.
Marcus Luttrell.
But good call.
Yep.
But all four of the main cast, and I don't like half of them, are really good at this movie.
Yeah.
I think the performances are really solid.
I say all that. It's still better than Transformers.
Yeah, it's better than Transformers.
Definitely better than Transformers.
Another one with absolutely no subtlety, which we could also discuss whether it's better or worse than Transformers. Michael Bay's Pearl Harbor.
I'm going better than Transformers.
100% better than Transformers. Yeah, no, this is Ben Affleck at his finest. This is Titanic in World War II.
Is that a high bar? Ben Affleck at his highest?
Yeah, I mean, he's been in some good movies.
I mean, he's been in some good movies.
It's a ridiculous movie.
Yeah, I mean, this movie really falls apart in that it wants to be Titanic. It inserts that relationship and love triangle and all this drama.
Also, when Josh Hartnett was a
Josh
thing.
Hartnett.
And Josh Hartnett's not great.
He's not.
He's less. He can't hold up to Ben Affleck.
I like Josh Hartnett.
I mean, to be fair, Josh Hartnett makes Ben Affleck look like a better actor.
Yeah, yes, in this film he does. But pretty historically accurate. If you would like to know how the Battle of Pearl Harbor took place, you could actually watch the movie Pearl Harbor, and it's fairly true. The Doolittle raids are worthy of being on film. However, they should not be like a 30-minute add-on to a movie.
That's what I don't like about that movie. Is like it wants to have a happy ending where he's like. Michael Bay was like, what about Pearl Harbor, but America wins?
Yeah, that is.
Again, that's kind of what the Doolittle raids were. It's a response.
But like the movie is Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. So you should have made like a sequel and it been Doolittle raids.
Yeah.
No. That part I dislike. But I do like Pearl Harbor. I think it's better than people than people think it is.
It's just so long.
It's super long.
Yeah. No,
Again, you take out the Doolittle raids. It's probably a reasonable link.
And I feel like you might...
Cuba Gooding Jr. is in this movie.
Yeah. No, yeah.
When Cuba Gooding Jr. is a thing.
I think it's my favorite Michael Bay movie. If I had to...
I think it's probably his best movie.
Yeah, I can't think of one I like more. Maybe Bad Boys 2, but that would be a tough fight.
The best Cuba Gooding Jr. military movie, though, is Men of Honor, where he plays a Navy diver. It's fantastic. It's him and Tommy Lee Jones. He plays the first black Navy diver. Great.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Cuba can act. It's just like he doesn't.
I don't know what happened to him.
I know.
He had a real career there, like late.
He was
night.
good in the OJ thing.
Yeah, he was. That's true.
Yeah. What do we got next?
Another one is I had also has everyone. This one's probably better than the last couple we talked about. Black Hawk Down.
Hell yeah.
Great fucking film.
Yeah, this movie's fucking incredible. This is like also like Saving Private Ryan.
This one also has Josh Hartnett.
He's probably in it.
Yes,
Orlando Bloom,
everyone's in
Eric
this.
Bana,
This would be like
Jason Isaacs.
This is the best Eric Bana role, realistically.
Maybe.
If you do a Mount Rushmore on war movies,
That
Saving
guy-
Private Ryan and Black Hawk Down would be on it.
Isn't the same dude we were talking about from Saving Private Ryan? Isn't he also in Black Hawk Down?
Yes.
The number 2
Tom
guy?
Sizemore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in every.
Jamie
all war
Lannister's
movies.
in this movie. Tom Hardy's in this movie.
Yeah. Bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one Scottish guy that's in a lot of other things is
Yep.
in this movie.
Take a helicopter shot down in Somalia. And again, see, this is where I kind of take away from the Marcus Luttrell movie is this is a similar thing, which is people in a really shitty situation just trying to survive, just trying to get out.
Jason Isaacs is in this movie.
I already said Jason Isaacs.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it.
But this one has stakes. It's really well acted. It's a Ridley Scott film, and
Yeah.
it may be Ridley Scott at his fucking best.
That's probably
Ridley
true.
Scott's very hit or miss, but this is great.
This movie is fantastic. You feel it too. There's a scene where they're kind of like set up and fortified on the street.
I mean, I was about to say, you talk about, I mean, I guess to some degree, all war movies are kind of survival movies, but this one is also like very much
Yes.
you're behind enemy lines and just trying to make it out of there, just trying to make it through the night kind of thing.
It makes you feel the stakes of that.
Absolutely, it does.
This is a better version of that film, and so I
I just
really
remember,
like
some of like the war action. You know, like I said, Saving Private Ryan has a lot of those awesome war action scenes in this
Yeah.
movie. Like it's
when
very-
Orlando Bloom falls out of a helicopter, like you feel that.
Yeah, it's very well done. Did it win Did it win Oscars?
I don't think it won
know.
that many.
Did it win?
No, I don't remember.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Though. It's this and Gladiator. That's really Scott's like Mount Rushmore.
Oh, I'm thinking the guy he didn't do Martian.
He did do The Martian.
I would put Martian there too. I like the Martian a lot.
I think that's recency bias.
Not Alien?
Alien's good,
Alien
but I would
1 is
put-
up there, too.
What the fuck are
maybe
you guys
he's more
talking
hit,
about?
maybe he's more hit than miss. I remember that.
No,
Blade
the
Runner?
fucking Exodus
Yeah,
movie.
the Hebrew movie
does not count.
I'm just saying, like, the dude's had some misses, but he's like, again, if we're talking like a Mount Rushmore, he's probably not the top 4, but
Director showdown, Ridley Scott.
has he not been on one of our director
don't think
showdowns?
so.
Oh,
We
shit,
should do
we
it.
need to do a Ridley Scott one.
Do a bad one again.
Was that do a bad one again?
You got a list of bad ones.
I do. Yeah, we're getting through them. Oh, we talked about Jarhead briefly.
Briefly, Jarhead is the same thing as Full Metal Jacket, but it's in Iraq, and it sucks.
Yeah, I just remember being bored in it. I don't think I was getting the overlying message, and he just hangs out in the desert.
That's what a better version of Jarhead. It's not really. It's a different movie, but similar setting. Three Kings.
God.
Better than Transformers.
Three Kings, better than Transformers.
It's almost a war movie. It's
Yeah.
mostly about a couple. Are they even officers? What are they?
They're just army guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
don't remember
doesn't
their
matter.
rank.
Yeah.
I think George Clooney is.
Yeah,
It's Ice Cube, George Clooney, and who's the third?
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah.
Marky Mark.
Yeah. Before he was like a thing. Like
Correct, yeah.
So this is Gulf War One. I believe George Clooney hears about a plan. If I remember the movie correctly, it's been a while since I've seen it. Hears about a plan of Saddam Hussein's money being moved,
Yep.
and they're going to break off before the army leaves Iraq because it's already over. The armistice has been signed. The invasion of Kuwait is done. They're going to go steal Saddam's money and then go back to the States, and it gets crazy.
Yep.
And it's like a heist movie in the middle of a war setting.
Yep.
And it's a ton of fun.
it's super fun. It's got that one actor who does every ethnicity,
yeah.
who's playing Arabic in this movie.
Yep.
But I don't think he's that either.
The
He could be any.
the jingle, the "We Three Kings
Yeah,
gonna
be
get
stealing
all
the gold."
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
It's a fun time. It's better than Transformers.
you can't say much wrong about that. It's very early 2000s.
Oh, it's super
Yeah.
cheesy and over the top.
Yeah, but it works for what it's doing.
Yeah,
So
it may be mid-90s. I don't know when this movie came out, but
speaking of mid 90s, early 2000s, another one is Enemy at the Gates. A sniper off between Jude Law
and Joseph Fiennes.
Yeah, Ralph Fiennes or Joseph, one of the Fiennes.
But they do look the same. Just one of them can act and one of them can't.
It's not Ray Fiennes. It's the other one.
It's Joseph
Fiennes. And I remember liking this movie. So it's like two expert snipers.
World War II?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's basically turns the war into a one-on-one basketball setting. Like, it's like no one else matters. And it works more or less. I haven't seen it in like 10 years, but from what I remember enjoying it a lot.
I remember liking this movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of World War II movies with a Fiennes movie, one we had talked about, we weren't sure how it would count, would be Schindler's List.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, again, kind of a war-adjacent movie. It's a Holocaust movie. It is fantastic. However,
I haven't seen.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it in the middle of the day. Plan to go bowling or something afterwards. Really do something. Eat some ice cream. Lighten up after, because it will bring you down. It is sad, and it's very realistic. It almost feels like a documentary.
Like you told me before we started the podcast, it's kind of like 12 Years a Slave. One of those movies you only can watch once because it just rinses over you and you can't do it again.
But God, is Ray Fiennes good in it. He's the most vile human being on the planet, but he is good.
Oh, I think I'll eventually get to it. It's just, when are you in the mood to watch Schindler's List?
I mean, that's a super fair point.
That's a super good point.
I got another bad one, Valkyrie.
Yeah,
with Tom Cruise when he was, and it's Superman Returns. Bryan Singer, trying to do a war movie.
That's what he's best known for.
Well, I think it's the movie he did after Superman Returns.
Is it really?
I think it's coming.
Yeah, I guess that was about the right time.
I think he got kicked off because Superman Returns didn't do well. So he's like, well, you know what? I'm going to go do a war movie with Tom Cruise, and it did not do well.
Yeah, this movie is dumb. It's about a true thing, which is high-level German soldiers wanting to assassinate Adolf Hitler. They had a plan to. Project Valkyrie was not
Didn't
successful.
Work. Tom Cruise got an eye patch famously in this movie.
Tom Cruise wears an eye patch in this film. What's really
Hugh probably likes it.
Yeah. He's short and he wears an eye patch. They're the same person.
Yep. What's interesting to me about this film, and when I first saw it, I really hated it, which is it's a bunch of people of different nationalities playing Germans.
Yeah.
All of which they all use their native accent in the film. And so at first I was like, well, that's fucking annoying. And then I realized they're not actually speaking German, so it doesn't matter which accent they use.
Is that the truth?
It's reminding you though.
Yeah, correct. It doesn't allow me to go into the space.
You're right. How bad is this? The Germans in this war movie are speaking English.
Are Scottish. It's worse than Transformers.
Definitely worse than Transformers.
By the way, no one's going to ask Tom Cruise to do a different accent. No. Tom Cruise has one accent. His accent. That's
you got to have stones to go up and ask him something like that.
I don't think anybody asks Tom Cruise anything anymore. We talk about a war movie, one that actually it's based off not a war movie. It's based off a book, Joseph Conrad's
Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness, that's what I meant. Heart of Darkness, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, great film. Does this movie take place in Vietnam or in Korea?
I think it's Vietnam.
Yeah, I think it's
you're
Vietnam.
right. I think it's Vietnam. But
double-check, though.
It's definitely an adaptation of Heart of Darkness. It's not really, a straight war movie. It's been redone like 9 times. Like, not that there's been remakes, but like Francis Ford Coppola just wants to recut and re-edit the same movie.
That's another one that I need to get to.
Agreed.
It's got a lot of famous lines, a lot of fucking famous people in it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Heart of Darkness, the book, and I read the book before I saw the movie, and I think that helps my appreciation for the film. But yeah, I mean, it's a good fucking movie.
I mean, aside from President Bartlett, this is Martin Sheen's defining role. I feel like,
yeah,
and one of Marlon Brando's last actual performances.
and he's incredible in it.
I love Brando, so I would like to see that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with this movie.
Better than Transformers, definitely.
I was definitely better than Transformers.
Yeah.
I don't really relate it as a war movie. I relate it to Heart of Darkness because it is an adaptation of that story.
Now we were Saving Private Ryan and Full Metal Jacket's on that level. You think?
Oof. Yeah, I would say it's that iconic and classic. Yeah,
Cool.
and it's
Black Hawk Down was the other one.
Yeah, Black Hawk Down's up there, and a movie called We Were Soldiers are my favorite 2 war movies.
Good transition. That's another one. Mel Gibson, We Were Soldiers. I haven't seen that.
Same guy who plays the sniper in Saving Private Ryan, plays a war photographer in this film. And this movie came out in the mid 2000s, right after the French units were attacked by the North Vietnamese. The U.S. sent in a group of helicopter forces, and it did not go well. And they got surrounded pretty early on, and so it's again kind of a survival movie. They're just trying a small group of dudes trying to fight off the Vietnamese, and great film. It's got Gary Bertier from Remember the Titans in it.
Okay.
A few people. Sam Elliott is fantastic in this movie.
Sam Elliott seems like he should be in more war movies.
Yes, he is. So he played his character as Sergeant
He's
Major.
like a good captain, not a general maybe, but one of those higher ups.
And the reason why I like this movie a lot is because it just shows the brutality of it all. There's nobody you're going to meet. I know there's like a stereotype out there that a lot of military people are super pro-war. You're not going to meet anybody who's more anti-war than a person who's actually lived it. Yeah. And that is a great example of why people are that way. That there's just this brutality that you just can't fathom and you don't want to experience. But that movie does a good job of showing it to you.
Some really recent additions that are probably pretty memorable, iconic war movies, at least of a certain war. The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30, both directed by Catherine Bigelow. Both very critically successful.
Yep.
Yeah.
One I would say is great. One I would say is a piece of trash.
Which one is which?
Hurt Locker sucks balls.
I would have guessed the opposite.
I feel the other way.
Yeah.
Hurt Locker is the most unrealistic war movie. If you think that's a good war movie, you know jack shit about war.
I mean, I do know jack shit about war.
That's a fair point. I think. Hurt Locker. That's Jeremy Renner, right?
Jeremy Renner, Anthony Mackie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One other person.
I thought that was like the tension of that movie. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know if it was accurate, but I felt the tension. Like
I think Jeremy Renner acts really well in that movie.
And Zero Dark 30, I feel like that's a hyped up movie that like it's Jessica Chastain yelling at guys for not listening to her for a lot.
That is exactly what that. Damn, I was gonna make that exact take, and you took it from me. That's exactly what that.
Very accurate. What I like about that movie is you want to know how the intel process actually works. It's that. Like that is how intel collection. And then trying to convince people that you know what's right and not to get hyper-political, but you know how hard that is when even the President of the United States, the intel community is working against them. Like, you're talking private U.S. citizens who want to accomplish a goal, and you have to deal with politicians and generals are politicians. And you're like, hey, look, I've got this great piece of intel here. Like, we should do this. And they're like, no, that's not going to make me look good. That's dangerous. I don't want to do it. And so you're just trying to do your job. That's why I love Zero Dark 30, because I fucking feel that shit on a very personal level. And it feels, again, I see Catherine Bigelow made the least accurate and the most accurate movie, which is super interesting. But, and all the performances are great. I love Zero Dark 30. It was fantastic.
I do like the raid. That raid.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fun bit.
That raid scene's cool. So
that will bring me to the flip side of this exact movie, though, because there's another movie about drone pilots called Eye in the Sky. It's got Helen Mirren, Aaron Paul.
I like that movie.
It's bad.
Oh, I completely disagree.
It's exactly the same premise. The whole thing is they're collecting intel on the place where they think that a group of terrorists are hiding out, and constantly it's like, well, this area has too many civilians around. Oh, well, now there aren't as many civilians, but there's an important person that's not involved in the terrorist organization that's inside.
Then there's too much collateral damage.
Right, so it's constantly like reevaluating the factors, and Aaron Paul is just constantly sitting behind the triggers like, do I pull the trigger? Do I pull the trigger? And they're like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then at some point they say yes, no. I don't even remember which one it is.
Alan Rickman is like
Alan Rickman is in this movie.
It's like his last role.
It is.
I like this movie. I saw it in theaters. And I remember walking out and being like, I really like
It's
that.
not good.
Better than Transformers. Yeah, Helen Mirren's great. Aaron Paul. But yeah, I think there's a kid in there who's part of it, and they don't want to kill him. They don't want to kill kids. That's like Aaron Paul's like hesitation.
Yeah.
No, I completely disagree.
But if you like Zero Dark 30 for the intel aspect, you will probably enjoy this.
Or just like the drone, how drones work and the process of like dropping a drone. I thought that was. I
would be curious to see how accurate that is, because I'm very familiar with that process.
You'd probably tear into it, but for a novice who doesn't know anything, I thought it was great.
So I worked in targeting specifically, which is a form of intel collection that determines how and when we drop weapons on targets. And so that is right up my alley.
You should watch it. You probably like it one way or the other.
I'd be curious to see how it...
I'd be curious to see how you feel about it.
It's got to be on Netflix or something.
It was on Amazon. I watched it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer we got, but one I would love to talk about is MASH. I don't know if
Do it.
So MASH is a movie that takes place in Korea, and there is a show version, but the movie came out first, starring Donald Sutherland as Hawkeye Pierce. God, this movie is great. Again, kind of a war-adjacent movie. It's about a forward operating hospital, army hospital in Korea, very close to the front lines. And it's just about how you deal day to day and just make it through. It's a lot of jokes, there's gags in it, but in that, like, the only way you can keep from being uber depressed and wanting to kill yourself is by being totally an idiot all the time. And I think this movie is great. The show is great as well, but I don't know the show gets the message across as well as the film does. And I know a lot of people prefer the show, and again, I love the show, but I think the movie really hits home in that war sucks for the soldier in it, and you got to do whatever you can to just try to get back home. And this movie does a great job of doing that. Better than Transformers.
I haven't seen MASH.
I haven't seen MASH.
Have you guys watched the show?
Nope.
We're on. We need to watch some war movies.
Again, we've already established this. Anything before 1990, have not seen.
Yeah.
Well, I got
and
one.
We'll never see.
One you also haven't seen. I have though. Fury with Brad Pitt.
Yes, good call.
Famously, Shia LaBeouf didn't take a shower for the entire shoot as a way of method acting. Better than Transformers.
Yeah, better than David Ayer movie.
Yeah, you're right. He actually got Suicide Squad on the back of this. And then he, obviously bungled that. But yeah,
this is like tank warfare, World War II.
Yes, and they have like an older, like not as technologically advanced as the Germans' tanks right now. So
they're the underdog.
Yeah, not even under. Like they can't go head to head with the German tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's a lot of good like tank warfare, like you said,
strategy.
Yeah, and like it just. The settings and they use the environment and it seems very realistic, and the bond the guys have in the tank is like they live in that tank. Mm-hmm. And I never really thought about that, but I'm sure that's really how it was. Like they're like making soup and stuff like in the tank. Like they have all these little things, and Brad Pitt's awesome in it. The end scene is really good. Also, kind of I guess most like a survival action scene where the tank's kind of breaking down. What do you think?
This is a great movie.
Who's there's other people in that the squad.
The guy who was in Punisher, the show, he was in.
John Barenthal.
Yeah, John Barenthal.
Good call. That's the one I was thinking.
It's a great movie. David Ayer, a Navy submariner before he became a filmmaker.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
The action is great. The storytelling is great. And then, and again, it just is a.
And honestly, Shia LaBeouf doesn't annoy me as like
he's good in this.
Yeah,
role.
like he ruins movies for me. He really does. But this one, he's actually pretty good. He's not.
This
bad.
movie's better than Transformers. I would recommend it.
Yeah, you should watch this.
Yeah, no, I know this is one that I
and it's like it's not heavy like where it's super gory. It's a little lighter. You know what I mean? So it's like not as downer. You know what I mean?
Unlike Platoon or anything else that happened before
Deer
1990. I will probably watch this one at some point.
Yeah.
Another one, pretty recent, Dunkirk.
I love Dunkirk. I know you were kind of.
This is probably our break from necessarily American centric-y ones.
Yeah, there's no Americans.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's World War II. It's again adjacent. This is
Not a good movie.
fuck you.
Dude, you can't understand what Tom Hardy's saying the entire movie. And
I don't care about that.
I know.
I watch everything with subtitles. Like, why does that matter to me?
It really got on my nerves in the theaters.
This is actually, in my opinion, one of Christopher Nolan's best movies.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, so it's funny because I feel bad for Christopher Nolan because it's not his fault. This is just kind of a mantle that's been thrust upon him, but he's kind of expected at this point, if he's going to do a genre movie that exists instead of one of his high concept things, it's got to be like the defining one of this era, because he's like one of the probably the best working director, top three, whatever you want to call it. And so this came after Interstellar. Interstellar was expected to be the new 2001. It wasn't. It was
that movie. Fucking sucks.
It was a flawed 2001 homage with a bunch of spacey exposition. And so I was worried about this one for the exact same reason. It's like he's gonna get too crushed by the expectations and the existing material on this, and he doesn't. I really love this movie because I think one of the things he does best in this movie is one of the things that my brother-in-law hates about this movie. There are a bunch of different stories that happen at different times to like different soldiers, but they seem to go out of their way to not identify any particular one of them that much. And I think the strength of it is that it makes you feel, given the situation that each person's in, that you could be any of these guys reacting the same way that they are in any of those situations. And I think that's kind of, I don't know, there's something beautiful about that I really like.
It just felt slow to me. I think that was my thing. It's a slower movie, for sure.
It is slow. I think that kind of outside of the war movie nature, this is a simplified movie for Christopher Nolan. I think taking a historical story, even breaking up into multiple parts and multiple storylines, it was nice to not have that signature Christopher Nolan high concept to it. This is like a palate cleanser and almost like a resetting after Interstellar, in my opinion, for him. Like,
I would agree with that.
This is like, okay, you know what? This one didn't work, and Inception is a great fucking movie, but maybe some people didn't get it. Maybe if I just take a step back, make a really good war history movie, and kind of reset my focus, I have high hopes for Tenet, because I think that's what that movie could be for Christopher Nolan. That's what I think Dunkirk could be for Christopher Nolan. And I think it's an excellent film. These are great shots. You know, you talk about the Tom Hardy part, you feel like you're in that fucking airplane. And it's just great. I really like that movie.
I also really, really like this movie.
Yeah.
So
it's good that we're not all on the same
You're
page.
outvoted here. You're wrong.
Do we have any more that we absolutely have to hit?
No, I don't think so. There are plenty of not necessarily American-centric ones and other American-centric ones that we can get to at another day, but I feel like we've hit a lot of the big ones.
Yeah.
The only one other one was Inglourious Basterds, but we've talked about that on Tarantino.
Oh, no, we'll come back to it another day.
And it's better than Transformers.
It is better than Transformers. And the thing about Inglourious Basterds that I like is the same thing I like about Full Metal Jacket. Taking a fictionalized story in these worlds and fictionalized characters.
That's good storytelling.
That's good storytelling.
100%.
Because this is kind of what I meant in the beginning, is that it's really hard. You know, you get a lot of people say, love the soldier, hate the war. Really fucking hard to be the soldier and separate yourself from the war. Because you did that shit. That was you. So it's really hard for a person to say that and not carry some of that weight. So if you want to make a political statement or you want to tell some deep storytelling or something, I feel like creating fictional characters and even fictionalized events inside of these real-world spaces is a really good way to do those things. Because you aren't focusing in that through a real person.
Yeah, you aren't either like indicting or lionizing somebody for you're getting to
the themes versus individuals.
Right.
Which is why I think sometimes, you know, when it's about a real person, we can look at it and say, oh, this is glorifying warfare or American propaganda or stuff like that. And it's just a really fine line. I think you can do things to tell these great stories about real life human beings, and then you can say, all right, here are movies that talk about the realities and difficulties of war and the negatives of it. But I don't think I don't think you can do the same both at the same time.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a pretty compelling point to me as far as why it's not a good idea to make a movie like a direct historical adaptation of a story. Yeah, fair enough. But I think is that it for
it.
All right.
At least part one. There's a shit ton we didn't talk about that we've even watched. I know everyone's going to assume we didn't watch them.
Yeah. I mean, there's also a shit ton that we haven't watched.
That's also
just to be clear.
That's fair.
But that's war movies.
Yep,
that was good.
Fun stuff. Well, with that out of the way, what have we been watching, guys?
I will start because I didn't really watch much. I continued with my Next Generation Trek. The one thing I did watch is I watched all of the prequels because we have a new Star Wars movie coming out
soon. Yeah,
and
I got to do that.
It's tough, man.
Number 3 is a really good movie.
I'm glad. I will say this: I came out of Revenge of the Sith more positively than I normally do.
Yeah.
Still don't think it's strong.
I have the high ground, Anakin.
Those three are still the bottom rung for me. Nothing has been done worse than those three movies.
Except Last Jedi.
No way. Not even close. Attack of the Clones is a top 5 worst all-time movie for me. I rewatch it like every 6 months.
But the gladiator scene.
That does not make up for the rest. Why is Padme half naked that scene?
She got the bug caught her. She got scratched.
Everyone who made a big deal of like shirtless Kylo Ren and fucking Last Jedi, explain to me why fucking Padme is going around shooting people with just fucking half naked the whole time.
Did people make a big deal out of shirtless Kylo?
Oh yeah, they did.
Huh. I mean, you could make a point about oily Kylo.
He was oiled up.
He was oiled up.
R2-D2 and 3PO have an action scene where they like
awful, which is also true about Revenge of the Sith. Why why is R2D2 fighting a whole bunch of fucking droids, lighting them on fire? And there's so much CGI. There's just so much.
It's a lot.
And that's such a bad decision for any movie, even now, because in 10 years, your movie's going to look like shit.
Yeah. I remember it looking good at the time. I haven't watched it in a long time. Like the opening scene where he like scrapes off the bugs with the plane, I was like, oh, well, that's CGI-ish, but I like it.
Yeah. They're all worse than Transformers, but I will all watch them 100 more times before I die, I'm sure.
I think we should do a prequels episode before you get back to the new one.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That should be next week.
The Phantom Menace, I still think is better than people give it credit for.
Jar Jar is not as annoying the farther I get away from it. I can just appreciate the stuff I like,
Yeah,
which is
Jar Jar's fine.
Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor is so fucking strong in those movies, though, as Obi-Wan.
I like the pod racing.
And honestly, Hayden Christensen's better than I give him. I think a lot of the problem with Hayden Christensen's performance in the prequels is George Lucas gave him
I was about to say
vomit.
because
some of the lines he has to say are ridiculous.
I don't want to defend Hayden Christensen too much because he's never shown us anything else in his career that indicates that he can do that much
That's
better.
fair.
But at this point, Natalie Portman was already like established as a great actress, and he makes her absolute shit in the third one.
Yeah, he is better than her in those movies. She doesn't look like because she was already a star. I feel like she didn't care. Like she didn't need Star Wars.
Yeah.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Oh, Jesus, God damn! I hate the third one so fucking much.
It was hard because I do watch the whole time and think, man, Adam Driver would have been so much better in this role.
Yeah.
But
Joseph's right. The writing in number 2 especially, I remember, and 3.
I hate
2 and 3 especially, I remember they just give Anakin just the stuff to say.
it's so frustrating.
Rough
about
draft
them
stuff that should have been clean.
is they skip. And this is why the show Clone Wars is
This
so
is not
great.
where we're supposed to be, guys.
No, I just gotta say this part. What makes 2 and 3 so rough is they skip the part where Anakin's awesome.
Yeah,
And they just give us the parts where Anakin is shitty.
That's true.
Very true.
And Anakin shitty is an important part of him becoming Darth Vader. But there has to be a reason why people like him. And we never get that bit.
Yeah.
Where this just talked about.
Yeah. Classic showbiz motto: tell, don't show.
Correct.
Everybody knows.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, I watched a couple things. I watched the British Baking, finally finished that off.
Is it over?
Yep.
Don't tell me who won.
I won't. It's good. But you're right. A lot of people now, I talk about it, say this season is not as good as past season.
Yeah, you should dig back and watch some of the earlier ones.
Yeah, I think we're going to do the holiday ones. I watched the season finale of Poldark. It was worse than Transformers.
Ooh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, not good. I watched Terminator, and I'm not going to go crazy because I listened to last week's podcast, and I know Hurt did a monologue on how good it's worse than Transformers. It is not a good movie.
Behind the curtain, you as the listener got about half of what Hurt said about Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah, so don't go see Terminator Dark Fate. It's just not a good movie. I played Luigi's Mansion. That's what I've been doing.
Luigi's Mansion 3?
3 on Switch. And, best game I've played since Red Dead 2, which has been about a year.
You know what? I feel like in my heart, I'm a grown-up man. I don't want to use Nintendo. That's for kids. All the Nintendo games are super fucking fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love the first Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, I know. Me too.
Great game.
I played the second one on DS, and this one's
in a hotel.
Yes, and you're basically you got your little backpack, and it's animated so well, like just like the everyday movements when you like run into a ghost, then you'll start like shaking and like tiptoeing and get your little backpack and your bus. It's the best Ghostbusters game that's ever been made.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
That's fair.
It's Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And I'm on like level 6. I think there's like 20 levels, so it's not a very long game. I played maybe about 4 hours. So better. I watched also Lighthouse. Off once again, I listened to the podcast. Jones saying he was going to watch. I was like, maybe I'll go check that out. Maybe it'll be good. Not good. Very, very. It's an art house movie that is so Oscar baity that it's like it makes me hate it in spite of itself. You know what I mean? Like there's like a 2-minute shot where they just focus in on the seagull looking at Robert Pattinson like it's challenging him, and it's just so bullshitty. I hate it.
I want to feel like I'm on your side, but there is at least a 10% chance that I'm going to like this movie.
It's way
honestly,
more than 10%.
I think it's 50% chance it's your favorite movie ever.
Yeah.
William Dafoe. It's not. I don't know. Like you guys said, Robert Pattinson. I've come around to. I haven't seen him in anything great, but I trust once he got cast in Tenet that if Nolan sees something, it's good enough for
That's
me.
true. Nolan doesn't cast poorly.
So I think he'll be good Batman, but I still haven't seen him anything good. So I kind of want to see him in something. But
Watch Good Time.
This is William Dafoe's movie. Pattinson's got the straight role.
Okay.
Dafoe's like just torturing him the whole movie. It's basically two guys in a lighthouse. It's black and white, and basically Pattinson arrives and he's like the underling to William Dafoe, and William Dafoe just fucks with him the whole movie. And it's slow, but I mean it's just not very good.
Fair enough.
And then I watched the last thing I watched Jojo Rabbit, which is
The new Taika
Waititi's new movie.
Ooh, look at that!
I watched it. It's kind of a war movie too. We've talked about
Kind
it.
of.
It's great.
Is it?
Oh yes, it's my favorite movie of the year. This or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Spider-Man. I was thinking about it on the way over here. Are probably my 3 favorites of the year. And it's funny. I think Scarlett Johansson's gonna possibly get a Best Supporting Actress nomination. She's great as like the mom. The kid is just hilarious. Sam Rockwell as like it's hard to say, but he's like a nice Nazi. The time place is like it's literally like the last year of World War II, and Germany's losing at this point as the movie opens, and the rumors are starting. And it's in Berlin, so it's like the center of it. And the rumors are getting along that the Allies are winning, and they're waiting for people to come in and basically liberate the city. Scarlett Johansson's kind of like a freedom fighter from behind the lines, and she's like supportive of like the Allies. And this kid just wants to be a Nazi because he just wants to fit in. Like he's just a weird kid, you know what I mean? And everyone around him's a Nazi, so he doesn't really believe in it, but it's got heart. Highly recommend it. Better than Transformers.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know when it was a limited release. I don't know when it's coming around here.
Taika Waititi is so funny as
Hitler,
as Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, well, as an imaginary Hitler.
Yeah. Just some of he keeps offering the kids cigarettes, like, and the kid's like, "I'm 11. Stop offering me cigarettes." He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm nervous." It's like it's so good. Another good line is the girl's like, "You're not a Nazi," and he goes, "Well, I'm massively into swastikas, so I think that's a good sign." It's good. A lot of laugh out loud moments. So that's what I got.
I'm excited. I want to see that.
That's what I want.
That's what I want.
I have continued to watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on the rewatch. It just, especially once you get to a certain point, it just becomes really hard not to just keep watching the next episode. And it's one of those things where we're already getting to a point where it's like, I feel like this is the end of the story. And then I looked at the episode list as we go on. The 5th season is all payoff. The 5th season of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is Avengers Endgame.
Yeah. It's just the end.
Yeah, the whole season. It's wild. But it's a great time. I love that show. I've been watching Watchmen. It's a beautiful looking show. I think everybody is cast well in it. And the performances are good. I think it's outscoping itself at this point. I think it's attempting to take on too many.
Needs to rein it in.
It needs to rein it in a little bit.
I forgot. I did watch the first episode, and I was very impressed with it. So I want to keep going.
Because it's trying to it's its own story. It's taken on the Watchmen universe. It's trying to tell a story about like the divisive culture. It talks about like first off, the show starts on a dramatization of a historical event, the Tulsa race riots. The whole series takes place in Tulsa, and it made me look up the Tulsa race riots. And race riot is a really understated description of
fucking awful
what happened there. So it's about the race relations. It's about like citizen police relations, but then now it's also trying to be like continuing to be like a satire of like Watchmen, of Watchmen and a satire of like superhero tropes and culture. And I'm like, wait a second, there's a lot of mixed metaphors going on here. I'm not sure it's all clicking the way it's supposed to.
How's Jeremy Irons?
He's good.
Okay, so he had a pretty big part because the first episode he's in it a decent amount, but not a ton.
He's kind of on an island.
Okay,
and I mean both like cinematically and like his character is kind of that way, and so it is kind of fun to watch. Like he's like kind of got this mad scientist vibe of I've been alone for a long time.
Don Johnson I thought was great.
Yeah, he's
in the pilot episode.
Yeah, Regina King's great. Jean Smart, who comes in episode 3, is really really great.
I got spoiled on her, so I know it. Yes.
Yeah. Tim Blake Nelson's great, and it's the writing is hit and miss.
Yeah.
As it goes on, but I'm still going to keep watching it.
That was
It's interesting.
The action scene with the Gatling gun and the
cows are not that bulletproof.
Yeah, but I thought it was cool. It was still cool.
Yeah, it is too. It is
cool. For a comic book movie.
Anyway, of the HBO series, I recommend it. It's good. I watched the first episode of the new season of Rick and Morty, which came out yesterday. It's really good. It's still really funny. As usual, it's very self-deprecating. Like it picks on its own tropes, it picks on its own fans, and it realigns the dynamics of the show, like of the relationships, and still manages to tell like a fun Rick and Morty story. So if Dan Harmon pulls this off, where he puts out a season like this every 2 years until he dies, I don't give a fuck. It's great. I'm down with it.
It's one of the smartest shows on TV, I think, and I'm just glad it's back.
And then the last thing I watched, which I just finished before I got here, I watched the Bong Joon-ho movie Parasite. Won the Palme d'Or at Cannes this past year. It's supposed to be really good, up for like the foreign film Oscar. It's a Korean film. He's a Korean director. Directed Snowpiercer. It's an interesting movie. It's about this family of just kind of scoundrels. They're not like bad people, but they're just kind of poor and questionable scruples.
They're scoundrels.
Yeah. Well, because essentially they kind of con their way into like service positions with the super rich family.
Okay.
And it becomes like this comedy of they're constantly trying to play their way into more power, into more ways to make money off them. And for the first half of it, it's really funny. Like I expected it to be. The trailer makes it look more horror-y. Like they get in, but then they're in over their heads, and like something bizarre happens. But like the first half of it is genuinely it's funny. Like there were many laugh out loud moments, and then it does take a darker turn in the second half. But it's nothing like super weird. There is a twist, but there's also like you start to see that even though they're getting like close to this wealth, close to power, there's still like this barrier between them and like their people and the life that the people that they're serving lives, and that shit goes downhill quickly.
How did you want to see this?
Yes, I did.
When you texted me that, I was like, "What?" I didn't even know what that movie was. I had to Google it.
If Hurt was here, this is my "I'm Smarter Than You" movie of the week. That was important to me. But no, I like Snowpiercer is like a top 10 movie for me. I love the shit out of Snowpiercer, and I heard this one was supposed to be like in the running for Best Picture this year. And so I figured.
You think it is coming out of it?
I don't know. I don't think it's.
Can you name
good.
10 movies that are better than it?
Not this year.
But
it has that Oscar kind of flair to it.
Yeah, for sure. That's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they don't even nominate the 10. I don't know.
That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
you have 10, nominate 10.
I mean, realistically,
that is stupid.
I don't know. Yeah, the Tarantino movie's probably better, but the Academy doesn't like Tarantino, so.
No, he should win this year so far, I think.
But that's all I watched, and I recommend everything. I think everything on here is better than Transformers, so I recommend all the things that I talked about because I have great taste.
Hey guys, by the time this episode fucking comes out, Disney Plus will be live.
Yep,
so we'll have seen The Mandalorian.
that's correct.
That's next week. Disney Plus review.
Yep, or sure, whatever we want to do.
I'm excited for that.
Doesn't Ford versus Ferrari come out next week also?
Oh shit!
Because I want to watch that.
I do too.
So
we could do Disney Plus and what we're watching, then and do Ford versus Ferrari.
For sure.
Yeah. We'll do a short review of Ford vs. Ferrari and then a lot of Disney Plus shit.
We can't do a short fucking anything.
Fuck you, Joseph.
Well, that's it for this week then. Thank you guys for listening. Please rate and like and subscribe and tell your friends about the podcast. If there are other war movies that we missed, which I know that there were, but your favorite ones, at least within the genre. Let's stick to American movies because,
Veterans Day.
Yeah. Please reach us at realphonies@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at realphonies, and on Instagram at real_phonies. I did want to mention, I almost forgot the fan interaction we got this past week. We did get a comment back from Susanna, a loyal listener of the show. Thanks for writing in.
You did the pumpkin for us?
Yes, yep. Beautiful. On our movie songs written for movies episode, she brought up "Shallow" from A Star Is Born. Great song, doesn't count.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
That was one of the criteria at the very beginning. It's not. It can't be just like a movie about musicians.
But that's not a musical.
It's not a musical. I just think it's.
I think that's.
I mean, it hurts. Whatever
that's definitely
movie
in the wheelhouse
seen,
of what you guys were talking about.
The one that you and I hadn't seen that Hurt freaked out about. Star Is Born is the same thing as that movie.
It is the same thing.
And she said she's seen that movie.
Has she?
Yeah. What wasn't it here? She told me to tell her. I forget the name of that movie, but yeah, she's like, I've seen that one. I was like, I haven't.
Yeah.
But I think Star Is Born.
The only problem I have with Star Is Born is every time I go in Barnes & Noble, that song
In
plays.
the shallow,
I mean, I listen to that song more than any other song probably last year. Like, I listen to that song. His best Eddie Vedder impression.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
That hardcore inspiration.
Absolutely. And I got an episode recommendation for a future one that I think is a good idea. Is Regina sent in cult classic movies, which is a tough category because I think as soon as you get into cult classics, it's how cult do you get?
Yeah.
But, that is
Like Goonies?
What?
Is it Goonies a cult?
No.
Goonies is a cult.
That's a tough one. It's a classic that people love.
We'll cross that bridge another day.
Gremlins?
But thank you.
Christopher Columbus, all of his movies.
But yeah, thank you guys for the suggestions. And again, all the things we just mentioned. If you'd love to give us more suggestions, we'd like to hear it. But I think that's it for this week. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for our theme. And we'll see you guys the next week.
Later.